Have you ever wondered how children played in the ancient times? Let's journey back to the dawn of human civilization, to a time when the world was a playground for our prehistoric ancestors. In these early days, playtime was a little less monopoly and a little more sticks and stones. Yes, that's right, the toys of choice were simple, made from what nature provided. Sticks became imaginary friends, stones transformed into tools, and animal bones, well, they served as a reminder that play also meant survival. This wasn't just aimless fun, though. These early games were essential, teaching young ones critical survival skills. Tossing a stone could evolve into spear throwing, and playing with sticks could lay the groundwork for constructing shelters. Play was the prehistoric school, where survival was the curriculum. So the next time you see a child playing with a stick, remember that they are part of a tradition that goes back thousands of years. Fast forward a few thousand years to ancient Greece and Rome. In this era, children were not left out of the fun, engaging in a myriad of games and activities. They played with knucklebones, an early predecessor to our modern-day game of jacks, using sheep's ankle bones instead of metal pieces. Also popular were terracotta dolls, a delight for the girls of ancient Greece, while the boys might have been found engaging in a different form of play. Picture this: a young Roman child, wooden spoon in hand, practicing his best gladiator moves in the villa courtyard, preparing for a future in the Colosseum. A wooden spoon may not quite have the same heft as a gladius, but hey, you have to start somewhere, right? So next time you see a child playing with action figures, think of a young Roman child pretending to be a gladiator. Who knows? Maybe there's a bit of ancient Rome in all of us. As we move into the Middle Ages, we find that children's games are not so different from those of today. A world without electricity or modern technology, the Middle Ages was a time when children got innovative with their play. Games like Blind Man's Bluff, where a blindfolded child would attempt to catch their peers, or Marbles, a game of strategy and precision, were common. These games weren't just for fun, they served a greater purpose. They were tools to teach social skills like teamwork, fair play, and strategic thinking. They prepared children for their future roles in a society that was often harsh and demanding. Children would mimic the roles of adults in their play, learning about the world of work, politics, and social interaction. In a world without schools as we know them, these games were the classrooms of the time. So even in the Middle Ages, play was not just about fun, but about preparing for the future. In the Victorian era, childhood took on a new importance. This was a time of great change and innovation, and the world of play was no exception. With the rise of manufacturing, toys moved from homemade trinkets to mass-produced marvels. Miniature worlds unfolded within dolls' houses, and train sets chugged their way into the hearts of children everywhere. Victorian teenagers, on the other hand, were obsessed with something a little more mystical: fortune tellers. Picture a Victorian lad or lass, wide-eyed and breathless, hanging onto every word of a wizened soothsayer. Now imagine their reaction to today's horoscopes in the back of glossy magazines. "What do you mean Mercury is in retrograde?" they might exclaim, monocle popping off in shock. Yes, the Victorian era was a time of whimsy, wonder, and a fair bit of weirdness. So, from wooden spoons to fortune tellers, the games children play have always reflected the times in which they live. As we've seen, the games children play have evolved over the centuries, but the importance of play remains the same. From the prehistoric kids making a game out of hunting and gathering, to the Greek and Roman children practicing their future roles in society through play, we've taken a whirlwind tour of the past. In the medieval era, children's games reflected the chivalrous and religious values of the time, while the Victorian age brought a fascination with the mystical and the occult into the realm of play. Across all these eras, we see that play isn't just about fun and games. It's a vital part of childhood, teaching important skills and reflecting the societal values of the time. So, the next time you see a child engrossed in a game, remember, they're not just playing, they're learning, growing, and carrying on a tradition as old as humanity itself. Whether it's a stick or a smartphone, the toys may change, but the joy of play is a constant that transcends time and culture.